Hello and welcome to the latest episode of the pod. Welcome back if you're returning, you masochists. And hello if it's your first time. There's something indescribably beautiful about seeing your work on the cover of a slab of 12-inch black vinyl. It's a combination of the artwork real estate and the artifact itself. Have no delusions. I don't think a lot of vinyl is nothing more than a cash-in opportunity / ego stroke and sounds like total crap. But if you take care and master for the format specifically, it can be stunning. Welcome to the We Care a Lot side of the fence, because here we care a lot. When I was a kid, I'd buy a new album, clean any stray dust particles from it with that strange red magic velvet-faced brush, zap it with a plastic anti-stat gun that emitted a weird, cool stream of ions, supposedly, that you could feel with your hand coming from the end of the gun. You could also zap your friends with it. It gave them an exciting electric shock. Nothing too bad, I promise. And once clean, then of course you'd record it to the chrome tape brand of your choice. In my case, TDK or Maxell, on day one of its purchase. The record itself would then be stored securely as a mystical relic and a tape run into the dirt until I needed to repeat the process. There's a whole generation that knows what the chemical formula for chromium dioxide is simply because of music, whether they wanted to or not, and almost failed chemistry in school. Recently, I see a lot of discussion about AI cover art, and this brings me rushing right back to the time when I fell in love with music. After the sad news of her passing, I was recently reminded of my mother's Roberta Flack album with a cardboard fold-out piano lid as part of the packaging. To be completely honest, this gimmick lured me in. And otherwise, it wasn't exactly show-stopping art visually. It was just Roberta sitting at a big grand piano. But still, I understood the effort that went into it, and that's something that we miss today. A random AI-generated picture is never going to have that gravitas, ever, or motivate you to find out what's below the imagery. In a 12-inch by 12-inch format, you can create something with depth, high details in the picture, and it's something you can appreciate entirely on its own. Cover art, let's be honest, was already dying a death on cassette. Look at anything from CBS. Big block red letters on the spine, the cover art on the front, and then just a plain white J card. Ironic, as CBS probably started the record cover as art movement by hiring an artist called Alex Steinweiss, who made something like 2,500 album covers during his career. And CD, no matter how extravagant the booklet was, it was still stingy. But to be honest, it wasn't always a smooth ride, even if you were on vinyl. Why? Because suits suck, have limited long-term vision, and are tight-fisted. Fast forward a lot of years, and in the mid-2000s, for signed indie acts, it was obligatory to put a single out on as many formats as possible, usually including a small vinyl run, partly for the cool factor, mainly to inflate sales numbers. As a producer, I was always horrified hearing the work on a 7-inch, almost certainly mastered from the CD version. Scratchy, distorted, really disappointing, low-effort work by everyone involved with the pressing. These were not the records I had always dreamed of making. Yes, the record may be on vinyl, but it may not be reaping the few potential benefits of being on vinyl. Unfortunately, this is the level of not giving a fuck we reached as we rightly lurched towards destruction of the record business as we knew it. What we needed was less accountants, more obsessed music junkies, and just perhaps, our art would have retained more perceived value than it has right now. Now things have changed considerably, so we have a responsibility to care and to make an effort ourselves. Artists that argue about the cost or effort required to make cover art are the same as the suits at CBS who decided to make a valueless, plain J card for every cassette release on the label. You're hurting yourself. You can't tell me that you can't take a photograph with the same camera on your phone you carry in your pocket 24/7 that might have some kind of synergy with your music and turn it into a record sleeve. If that's holding you back, remember that meaning is usually assigned to art after the fact. So take that worry and throw it away. Create. It will become the thing later. Now think also about these companies like Hypnosis or Microdot with their iconic Oasis sleeves, Peter Saville, Vaughan Oliver, Peter Black, Derek Riggs, the father of 1 million Iron Maiden t-shirts, Storm Thorgerson. All of these people sold a hell of a lot of records without even playing a single note because of the art. While digital files might only have a JPEG embedded in the metadata, it still matters even if it only shows up as a Spotify cover on the player of your choice. One day someone might be listening to your song, look at the cover art and feel something emotional and lasting from the work you've created. At least give them the chance, please. And if you're going to put your music on vinyl, I beg you to do it properly from a sonic point of view. Get a separate, real vinyl master done. Keep the dynamics and at least give yourself the chance of experiencing sonic joy after that first few seconds of crackle before the music starts. Well, that's about it for today. Thanks for joining me. If you have any ideas for future episodes, I'd love to hear from you. Or have any comments, please feel free to leave them. I'm afraid I have to leave you with a shameless plug. If you're ever interested in making a record that you're going to be proud of, I know a mixing guy. It's me. Surprise. Anyway, you know where to find me, and I will see you next time on the pod.